everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the another session of Success Story series of NABARD Grade A 2023. So today we have another NABARD Grade A 2023 topper, Mr. Mithun G, and he has cleared his NABARD Grade A examination in his just first attempt. So that is quite inspiring and congratulations, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So talking about him, he has done his graduation in BSc Horticulture, and after that he started preparing for other exams like UPSC and state PCS. Then he was in his interview round of in the last attempt of his UPSC, and thereafter he switched basically to NABARD. So my first question is regarding that only, sir, that you were from the UPSC background, like you were preparing for UPSC, and in your last attempt you reached the interview round. So what happened and what made you switch to NABARD?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I was in the loop of UPSC for past 2 to 3 years. I have been in UPSC prelims, mains, interview rounds. From past 2020 to 2024, I had done that. So basically, last year I missed it by 5 odd marks. I was expecting the rank, but in the final merit list, I missed out. So I need a plan B. So I strategically also whatever the knowledge part that I have been studied through UPSC should be useful in a particular way. So NABARD is one such option which provided an aspiration for me for because the activities of UPSC and NABARD are in line with for rural development and public service. So I made a decision to get into NABARD. I strategically prepared for this examination from then on.
Okay. So next question regarding the same line, regarding on the same line that uh, after preparing for UPSC, you read so many subjects, you study so many subjects, and you could have targeted any other examination. Then why only NABARD?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, firstly, we need to know about the service conditions of any particular institution. So NABARD, RBI, or be it any IBPS or bank examination, they are mainly focused about banking services. So NABARD is an organization that works for the development as well as inclusivity and public service. So the combination of these three made me to switch for NABARD particularly. I particularly prepare for the NABARD examination.
Okay, so yeah, that's a great thing about NABARD that you get to work at the ground level. So you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
can yeah you get to be part of these things, these programs that actually work at ground level and that actually makes the difference in people. Yeah, so that is the thing about NABARD. And one more thing regarding the same, that when you switched your goal for NABARD, then what was the reaction of family? How they react?
There was a support from my parents. They were not insisting me to particularly study for UPSC or any other examination. However, I felt that when I miserably failed in my UPSC interview last year, I felt the pain in my parents as well. So much I have done so much of hard work, and if you miss it by one or very small margin, they will be paying for that one. So indeed, I will not tell about my parents about my examinations or results. Even in NABARD case, they didn't know that I have appeared for NABARD exam itself until the final results came. Only after the results come, I have told that I have cleared NABARD. So they were happy about it. So indeed, I wanted to keep the expectations of my parents low about this one because I don't want to break their heart again. So this is how it is.
Okay, yes. And also, see, when you give examination, when you are in this journey of giving examination, then there are times that you feel low, right? कि you feel demotivated, you feel like क्या चल रहा है, कुछ हो नहीं रहा है. Then how you motivated yourself and how you keep up with this thing, like कि no, I have to do something. Then anything you want to tell to aspirant that what they can do to motivate themselves.
Ma'am, it's obvious that everyone who is working hard will get into this sort of a phase in their preparation. So it's very common in nature. For this, we need to actually understand the process itself because at each in these competitive examination, there can't be a sure shot that you will do everything and you will get it in a very first go. There are times when you will feel low. So please just take a break, talk to your friends, family, and make a decision wisely. So not exam is just one part of your life. Not exam is an entirety. And there are quotes like just do your duty and leave the rest to God. So just focus on the preparation and just leave the results which are not in our hands. So this is the mantra that I did follow.
Yeah, true, true. Well said. That exam is part of your life, not your life, right? So just take that part seriously, give your 100%. Rest result is uh, totally based on your luck also sometimes, right?
Yes, yes.
So yeah. Now, I would like to know that you started preparing after notification. You told me that once notification was out, then you thought ki now I have to do the NABARD and now I'll start the NABARD. Then what was your plan? Like you have the limited time, you have to cover 8 subjects. Then what was your plan?
Yes, ma'am. Even though took the break from UPSC, I was constantly preparing for examinations like current affairs and the Hindu or any newspaper. It has become a part and parcel of my life. I've been continuously practicing and studying them. So I didn't find it any difficulty. However, with respect to NABARD, I just came to know about the examination in August or September. So when I gone through the syllabus and the PYQs of NABARD, I came to know that they are mostly in line with the UPSC itself. So the particular section of the syllabus, like ARD, that is one that I need to focus upon. So I just referred to the various other materials of the institutions and prepared for that in particular. So this is how I started with respect to NABARD, ma'am.
And one more thing with regarding that I want to ask, like how you manage your time, because we know that after notification it is hardly 30-40 days you have in your hand, and you have to cover all the subject, you have to prepare in exam oriented way. Though you have that background, but still, the requirement of different exam is different. NABARD has
Yes,
different
ma'am.
requirement than UPSC. Then how you managed your time, and what was your study plan? What was your normal
Okay.
day? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I can divide it into prelims and for mains. For prelims purpose, it is a mixed combinations of both factual and analytical questions in the prelims part. So I just wanted to solve more and more number of objective questions. First, I have gone through the syllabus. I have watched all the videos that are available in YouTube or in any platform in a 2x so that I can complete it in a very faster way. And for objective questions, I have solved many questions from all the institutions. I took the mocks online, which are available free, and I took all the objectives. Whether if I have not covered anything in the syllabus part, at least it would have been covered in the objective part. So that was the main focus of mine, so that I would be able to cover all the syllabus and be confident in prelims exam.
So, okay. Now, let's talk about your strategy. So, you seems like a good time. You have a good time management. You had made a timetable for you. So, one more thing before strategy, I wanted to ask that how many are you dedicate to your study before the NABARD examination?
There is no particular time that I have followed. Like whenever I felt like reading, I started reading. Sometimes it may go up to 12 or 14 hours, sometimes just 2 or 3 hours. So there was no particular time. And my UPSC preparation also gave me that sitting of long hours, like 14 hours. I was able to sit 12, 14 hours by taking gaps in between. So that was not a problem for me.
Okay, okay. So now let's talk about your strategy, and let's first see the phase one. So in phase one, basically we have 8 subjects, and out of 8 subjects, we have five of merit section, sorry, five of non-merit section and three of merit section. So first,
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
take the non-merit part and let's see that how you prepared for it. So first, please tell us about how you prepared for quant reasoning English specifically.
Yes, ma'am. In particular, with quant section, we need to, for there will be a total of 20 questions. We need to cross the cutoff for non-merit section. In non-merit section, our basic focus should be just clearing the cutoff, because however great you score, that doesn't reflect or that doesn't make you clear the preliminary examination. So strategically, you need to identify the questions that are frequently repeating in these examinations. So pick up the questions. For quant sections, there are certain questions like quadratic equation, missing numbers, Bodmer's rule. So identify your strong areas and focus on these areas. At least if you were able to do at least some 50% or 40% of the questions, that of the total questions comfortably within the time margin, you can able to do that one. With respect to this is with respect to quant. And for reasoning, we need to identify questions where we can have a maximum number. For example, if there is some bar graph or linear chart, there 3 to 4 questions will be coming. So focus on those questions, and or sitting arrangement for that matter, or blood relation. You focus on these questions, you can able to get 3 or 4 sub questions out of it. So hardly it takes your less time, and you will be able to clear reasoning section. For English, you need to be able to have a grammatical touch on to identify grammatical errors, and also the passage part, where you should be able to read at a very quicker pace and able to answer what are all the sub questions that have been provided. So focusing strategically on what are the questions available, which would be solvable, and your strength areas. For me, there are particular section or areas where I feel comfortable. I focused on that one. So different aspirants have different strong areas. So they need to focus on this and prepare accordingly for non-merit section.
So basically, in quant reasoning English, you focused on your strong areas. You picked up those topics which are relevant for exam point of view, focused on that, and then prepared accordingly. Because here, true, it's true that we don't have to score 100 out of 100, or we don't have to score complete mark. Just we have to clear the minimum cutoff. So that was regarding quant reasoning English. But computer knowledge and decision making are also there, the part of non-merit section. So please tell us that how you prepared for computer knowledge and decision making part.
My computer section, it was not difficult for me. I was with computers, like I basically do all work in computer, and I have the basic essence of short keys, everything. So it was not a problem. However, I referred the material of few coaching institutions, like Anuj Jindal and EduTap. Particular, I just gone through it. Mainly, what are the questions that have been asked in IBPS examinations, in particular with this computer section. So this had helped me out. And with respect to decision making, I think decision making is a very trickier one. So we need to identify, like in UPSC, I have studied ethics. So this had helped me out in decision making. For example, even if a person is not from UPSC, I think he need to have that aptitude of solving any problem. So if you are in your life, or when in your work life, you will be having so many situations. So if you identify the situation, just by seeing the options, you can eliminate the one. So you should have that sort of a managerial skill in making decision making questions. So this is the one thing. And in decision making can be very trickier. So read the question carefully and identify the key points in the question itself. Once you are done with it, you will be sure be eliminating the options and come up at a arrival at a proper answer for that question. So there will be 10 questions in decision making approximately. So you need to mark at least 5 to 6 questions, because we don't know which one is the right answer or which one is the wrong answer. So please take a chance and attempt at least 5 to 6 or 7 questions at max.
Okay. So also one more question regarding the computer knowledge part. I want to ask, like, if someone have the basic knowledge, then the computer knowledge is doable for them, or otherwise they have to go through any notes or any kind of PDF for reading computer knowledge. If anyone have the basic knowledge, so is that doable?
Uh, basic knowledge is required. However, I think that there are certain basic things even the computer graduates or computer science graduates doesn't know. So at least you need to know. Frequently, the IBPS are asking focus areas, like which of them is a website, what is firewall. So these are very simple questions. So at least identify those questions and prepare accordingly. If he is not from a computer background.
Okay.
Since IBPS conduct this examination in various IBPS, SO, AFO, and other things also in computer section, they are frequently asking some similar pattern question. At least we need to prepare for that.
Okay. So that was regarding your non-merit part. Now let's come
Mm.
to the merit section. And in merit section, the very, vast, and most often query that has been asked by the aspirant to us is regarding current affair. So first we would want to know about the current affair strategy, that how you prepared your current affair, especially for schemes, like how you prepared your schemes, then how you prepared your reports and other relevant current affair regarding ESI.
Okay. Ma'am, with respect to ESI, schemes play a very important role. There are many questions that are being directly reflected or taken from PAB and asked in the examination. So, in-depth understanding of the scheme, that too with particular with agriculture and rural development, should be at your fingertips. You need to know the data, which ministry, what is the allocation, everything. You should be having that. and the recent developments with that two schemes. So there are certain changes in the schemes, like beneficiaries they are adding, they are deleting. So you need to be very keen about it and understand in depth of that one. So I referred PAB website, uh, and also for current affairs, I was referring the Hindu and other magazines like Vision IAS and EduTap current affairs material. So I covered all of the syllabus, and we need to focus certain areas like budget and economic survey reports as well. So even if in the prelims as well as in the mains, most of the questions are directly copy pasted from your budget and economic survey. So you need to be keen in budget, economic survey, PIB, and current affairs. So this can help in solving more questions in ESI.
And talking about ESI static, though I understand that you have the UPSC background. So did you revise something for ESI static before your phase one? Or you have the
Yes,
background and you were confident, no, I'll do it. I'll just do the current affair part.
no, ma'am, the demand of the examination in UPSC and NABARD is quite different. Though the syllabus, everything is same, the demand is slightly different. In UPSC, it is more of an analytical one. In NABARD, there is a combination of both static and analytic one.
Mm.
So you need to be having a more of a data and factual knowledge about the schemes. So I need to just mug up few facts and understand and memorize some of the parts of the scheme. So this is quite different. So you need to solve so many questions about the schemes.
Okay. So as I was asking regarding static part, so did you read ESI static before phase one, because the weightage is very less, or
Ma'am,
you skipped it?
ye- no, I didn't skip, ma'am. The syllabus part of ESA is overlapping with GS2 and GS3 of UPSC.
Okay.
So I have prepared it previously itself. So I just need to revise the static part. That's it.
Okay.
So it was not a problem.
And one more thing I wanted to ask you, that what about ARD current affair? Like in ARD also we have reports, we have schemes. You told about schemes. So schemes are important, be it ARD or ESI. Then what about ARD reports and ARD current affair? I mean, how you tackle these things? Did you prepared anything extra for ARD, or you just prepared the scheme part?
Ma'am, AID, I will divide it into two parts, AID static and AID current affairs. For AID static, I referred Shagun ma'am's notes of Anuj Jindal Academy. For current affairs part, what we need to do is we need to go through the website of ministries. For example, Agriculture and Rural Development or NABARD website. So similar NHB, National Horticulture Board, ICR website. There are certain initiatives that are coming up. So they will be releasing the reports like NHB, National Horticulture Board will be releasing certain reports. So NABARD will be releasing the All India Financial Inclusive Survey. So many reports are there. You need to at least go through the glance of those reports. So this can be reflected even in the prelims, as well as you can use these reports and value addition material to have a good marks in your mains as well.
Yeah, yeah, true. Though it is not, it might, the probability is less of coming to of these question phase one, but yeah, in mains you can utilize all that data in your answer writing. So now talking about GA. So how you prepared your GA?
Yes, ma'am. For general awareness, like I was following current affairs. I was following since UPSC I have studied, I had the basic knowledge of all the subjects: history, economy, polity, geography, science and tech, environment and ecology, everything. I revised it many number of times, so it was not a problem for me. However, coming on to the NABARD examination, I just go through the previous year question papers of how the general awareness questions are coming, and just followed the pattern. Like I have given a couple of marks with respect to that, and this has helped me.
Okay, so now we discussed your phase one strategy. So coming to the phase two, like in phase two, you might have started phase two preparation just after phase one. So you have that practice of descriptive answer writing, but not typing. So how you take up that challenge, and how you started typing, and how you manage to to do or prepare practice in that limited time?
Yes, ma'am, it was challenging because in UPSC, at least you will be writing, you will have a scope to do, you can write diagrams or flow charts and you can minimize that one. But here we have to type. So for 600, at least you need to have 450 or 500 words at minimum. In UPSC, we can manage with flow diagrams, maps. So it was a bit challenging. However, I'm a person of making digital notes. So most of my notes will be typing one. My typing speed was just 300 to 400 words. So initially, in the last 20 days of the examination, I started typing more number of questions. I took the previous year question papers as well as the questions from various other institutions and started typing out. So yeah, initially I was also like I was able to do just 300 or 400 words. Eventually, at the end of just before the examination, I was able to type at least 500 or 510 words for 600 words and 350 words for 400. So that was my strategy. Daily, at least practicing 4 to 5 questions was helping me out.
Okay, so if we see the interface of examination, so when we do the practice at home, we have our own keyboard, own desktop. But if we go to the examination center, there the condition is too different, and interface is also problematic because you have a very limited space for writing the complete answer, as well as the keyboard are also not working sometimes. So how you manage that, and were you able to meet the word limit for all the
Uh,
questions?
Ma'am, not entirely, at least 80 to 90% of the word limit I have made the demand of the question. Yes, it is a problem with the keyboards in various computer centers. So at least we need to prepare for the worst. While I was typing also, I made a point that if the timer allotted is 15 or 20 minutes, I kept a timer for each question so that I would be able, I was keeping a, means if it is a 15 minute timer, I was reducing it to 10 or 9 minutes so that if in 9 minutes I would be able to do at least 400, it would eventually add further more words in other further 5 minutes. So I was practicing for the worst to come. So this practice has helped me out, I think, in the final one.
And how you do the
So
noise cancellation, because we have heard that in descriptive answer typing there is no lot of noise that comes from keyboards because all of you are typing, so how you manage
yes, ma'am.
that?
Ma'am, yes, it is. It creates a lot of noise. However, once you are into examination, you will forget everything. You'll just focus on the question and the answer. You will not hear anything. You will just be focused once you start the examination.
True, true.
So if your mind is running too fast, you will not care about what is happening around you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now let me ask you regarding the online descriptive English. So how you prepare for descriptive English part?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, descriptive, I can divide it into three. One is essay writing, one is letter writing, and one is precis writing. For essay writing, we need to identify, there will be four essays. We need to identify those essays where you can have more of a scope to write more number of content in that part. So you should be making a wise choice in that one. So I choose agriculture and the technology should complement each other was the essay that was asked. So it was very easier for me. Like I have prepared it, and it is also syllabus part of our ARD.
Hmm.
So it was a easier one. So I picked this question. So what differentiated my answer, I guess, was I used a lot of agriculturists. For example, Ashok Dalwai Committee of Doubling Farmers' Income. So I used their committee recommendation, MS Swaminathan recommendations. How in Ashok Dalwai Committee, for example, I told how the technology implementation can double the farmer income. So I used these reports as well as government reports of AIFIC or any NAFED, how technology can contribute to it. So I made a proper introduction with respect to this. In the body part, I broke the question like agriculture and technology should complement. They have asked five agricultural technologies. So I broke the question. I made a pointers out of it. Pointers and a combination of a descriptive was made in that one. So from farm to plate, we can use the technologies. From soil testing to marketing, there are n number of technologies like genetic engineering, drone
True.
technology. I specifically mentioned at each without any haphazardly writing the points. I firstly mentioned from farm to plate, taking from farm like from field preparation itself, how the technology takes happen, how in marketing, how it happens, in intercultural operations, what are the technologies, mechanization is also technology, drone technology. So all the technologies I have mentioned it and the various government schemes I have mentioned it. Also, I am not just focusing upon the positives. I have given what are the challenges in implementation of these technologies. The main focus of the question was technology. However, you need to mention two or three points and the way forward. So that will differentiate our answer from the others to other candidates and can have a more marks over it.
True, true.
Secondly,
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
with respect to letter writing, there is a standard format. So where you have to write from address to address and the content of the letter. So here you need to reduce the grammatical errors. You need to be very specific. You need to have a very good command over the grammar. So in letter writing and pre writing, you need to have good command over the English. In pre writing, first identify the keywords of the topic, and you should be writing in your own words without just copying the statement. Just have a pre understanding of overall the passage that have been given, and make it in your own words, mentioning the key pointers out.
Okay. So now, after phase two, what was your reaction like? Were you satisfied with your performance of phase two, or you were skeptical ki what will happen, and you paused your interview preparation, or you just started your interview preparation just after phase two?
Phase two, with respect to descriptive answers, I was confident. Questions where the answers are very ambiguous. Very different coaching institutions gave different answers. So there was a very different. Once I was getting 35, 36. Once I was getting 32. So I was not getting the perfect way because everyone some are saying that there were easy questions, some are difficult ones. So I was not so very comfortable. I just got 34 or 35 out of 50. So that is there, and so I was pretty confident about like my descriptive one.
Okay. So that was regarding your phase two preparation. Now, after phase two, how you prepared for interview? Was there anything which you did different for interview? Because how your phase one and phase two preparation helped in interview?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in interview process, we need to understand the demand of the institution that you are going to work in. So NABARD majorly focus on developmental of the rural poor and a banking service for the rural poor. So the majority of the questions will be coming from this itself. I have gone through the transcripts of the previous year toppers who have made it to NABARD. So I just came to know that the questions are majorly shows our inclination or aptitude towards rural development and banking service of NABARD. I just prepared all the questions that are relevant to me, which are having a high possibility of coming in the examination, and I prepared my DAF very thoroughly with respect to what are the crops, with respect to my state, my place of birth, and agricultural activities in and around. So I prepared detailedly with respect to it. And even in my DAF, I have mentioned various things like drone technology, e-technology, and I am having a hobby of beekeeping.
Okay.
So even my hobbies were correlating with the syllabus of ARD. So I just integrated everything in that one, and it was not of a bit anything like I need to prepare in thorough with it. Everything that I've studied in my ARD and DSI, I just depicted in my DAF hobby section. So majority of the questions came from there itself.
Okay, okay. So now that was your interview part. I just want to ask you regarding mocks. So have you given any mocks before your phase one, phase two, or interview? And what is your take on that? Ki how, what is the importance of giving mock to the aspirant?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, mocks helps in understanding the demand of the examination. So solving more and more mocks can help you give the boost and confidence to face the examination. So I have given many number of mocks with respect to my phase one examination. I took the questions from various websites that are available for free, and I have watched the videos of various institutions. In particularly naming Shagun ma'am of Anuj Jindal, there was a classes with respect to the objective part of AID and ESA that are asking in the examination. And your institution, EduTap, has also made videos with respect to the ESA and AID objective questions. I watched it in a 2x speed and completed everything. Just I have done this one, and solving more and more number of questions has helped me out now.
Okay, so about
For
giving mocks for yes, phase two.
yes, ma'am. For phase two, I think those who are not comfortable with typing speed, they need to give more number of mocks with respect to it. Because you need here we both content as well as your number of words matters most. So you need to give more number of practice questions for that one. And for that, you can either do it in your MS Word or any word limit. There are certain websites where number of words and your time limit is also shown. You practice there as many number of questions that you can, at least 1 or 2 questions daily can help you out. For in mock also, I have taken one mock I have given in EduTap with respect to this one, and other questions I have made daily 2 to 3 questions, and I was regularly giving till the end of my examination. So this was my strategy for descriptive part.
And mocks for interview. Have you given any mocks for interview part?
Yes, ma'am, I have given in different institutions. So
Okay.
even in EduTap, I have given one mock which was very comprehensive enough, uh, which helped me reframe my answers.
Okay, so that is all about your strategy part, and I hope from your strategy, many aspirant who are watching this video can get the idea that how you have to study in exam oriented way. So you don't have to study everything; you have to just filter out what is the exam requirement, and accordingly you have to prepare. So that's a great help. Then I would like to ask you that how EduTap is part of your journey, how we have helped you throughout the journey, though you have mentioned in between, but still, if you can summarize it.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, since I had a very less amount of time, like I started very late in NABARD examination, I need a notes which is very crispier and to the point and aligns with the demand of the examination. So I was searching EduTap. I have referred various topics which I was which was very easier for me to filter out the content. So there were many part like in ESI and ARD, and even for budget, I have took the help of your EduTap. I have done that from your website as well as in mock interview. There was a very comprehensive feedback from your team, which helped me to filter out my answers and boost my confidence in giving the actual interview.
Okay, that's great to hear that we could be of any help with that limited time, and we can, provide you that thing. And now, at last, we have come to the last, end of this interview. At last, I would want you to advise aspirant, future aspirant. What would be your advice? What they have to keep in mind, or the key points that they should keep in mind before preparing for NABARD Grade A?
Yes, ma'am. Any examination for that matter will have a particular demand. So we need to first identify the demand of the particular examination. In the case of NABARD, it is the rural development and agriculture. So just identify the demand that can be done through the syllabus part. So each point of the syllabus, it should be in your fingertip. You should have everything in your you should be covering everything in your syllabus part. In the case of NABARD, it is more about rural development and agriculture service. So demand of the examination can be understood through the syllabus that they provide. You need to go through the syllabus thoroughly. For each pointer of the syllabus, you need to have the notes. You need to be thorough in all the 360 angle about a particular topic. Once you have done that, give more and more number of mocks. So identify your weak areas and strong areas. In weak areas, give more amount of time. Talk to your mentors or teachers where they can guide you out. So and I have a time frame of how you are performing at each stage or each level of the examination. So this is one thing that I would like to advise the future aspirants.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And to all aspirant who are watching this video, I would like to again mention that you should know the demand of examination, as the sir has also mentioned, and prepared accordingly. So that was all for this interview, and thank you for sharing your insights, sir. And I hope from this interview, many of you will get motivated. So thank you, sir, and thank you, everyone.